11th of January 2022, and let me quickly recall what we have done in the previous classes and then we will proceed. In the previous class, we have recalled the definition of A closure, that is the smallest closed set containing A. Then we prove one proposition that X belongs to A closure if and only if B epsilon X intersection A is not equal to phi for all epsilon greater than 0. With the help of this, we show that A closure is equal to A union A dash. And then we prove that A dash is a closed set. That is, the set of all limit points is a closed set. Now, there is a correction in the proof of this proposition. Let me quickly mention this correction. See, sufficient to show that A dash dash is contained in A dash. It's okay. Now take X is in A dash dash, then by definition of limit point for all epsilon greater than 0, B epsilon star X intersection A dash is not equal to phi. This is the given thing. Now what we want to show is that X belongs to A dash, and by the definition of A dash for all epsilon greater than 0, B epsilon star X intersection A is not equal to phi. So this is something that we want to show. Now I fix epsilon, take epsilon greater than 0, and by this given condition, B epsilon star X intersection A dash is not equal to phi. Okay. Now I take epsilon by 4, then by this given condition, B epsilon by 4 star X intersection A dash is also not equal to phi, and I choose a Y in this ball. Okay, I choose a Y in this ball. Which ball? B epsilon by 4 star X intersection A dash. Now clearly Y is not equal to X because Y is in B star. Means in this ball X is not present. So Y is not equal to X. So it's okay. And the distance between X and Y is less than epsilon by 4. And also Y is a limit point. Now since Y is a limit point, so for all delta greater than 0, B delta star Y intersection A is not equal to phi. This is true. But now I choose delta to be epsilon by 4, epsilon by 8. It's okay that we can take it, but the problem is that the point Z which we want to take should be different from X. The point should be different from X. So I will suggest one thing here to make it correct. I will suggest here to write it like this. In place of delta to be epsilon by 8, take delta to be the distance between X and Y. I just want one thing, that this Z should not be equal to X. Okay, so distance between XY, you know, distance between XY is less than epsilon by 4. So take delta to be half of this distance, and of course this is less than this term will be less than epsilon by 4. This term will be less than epsilon by 4. Am I clear what I want to say? आप लोग समझ पा रहे हैं हम क्या कहना चाह रहे हैं? इस epsilon by 8 की जगह पे अगर हम डिस्टेंस बिटवीन एक्स वाई का हाफ ले लेंगे तो ये जरूर कंफर्म होगा कि इस रेंज में x नहीं आएगा, क्योंकि x और y के बीच की जो डिस्टेंस है उसके हाफ डिस्टेंस पे z है. So z will never be equal to x. So take in place of this, take delta to be this. So in place of this, you may write dxy by 2, and then there is no problem. So clearly this distance between z and y is less than dxy by 2, and dxy by 2 is of course less than epsilon by 4. There's no problem. You may also write epsilon by 8, there's no problem. And that will be less than epsilon. Is it okay? Distance between x and y is less than epsilon by 4. So distance between x and y by 2 is always less than epsilon by 4. There's no problem. So you may write epsilon by 4 or epsilon by 8 here, and this will work. But the only thing that which will follow here is that after this correction is that z will not be equal to x. This correction implies that z will not be equal to x. So z will belongs to b epsilon star x. And the other thing will remain same. So no problem. In this way, we have shown that z belongs to b epsilon star x intersection a. So b epsilon star x intersection a is not equal to phi. So A dash is a closed set. Now after that, we have shown that boundary of A is a closed set. And I have given some exercises for you to solve. I hope most of you have done it. So now I am coming to today's lecture. So today is 11/01/2022. And now I am going to talk about complete metric space. Complete metric space. A metric space XT is called complete if every Cauchy sequence in X is convergent. So a metric space XD is called complete if every Cauchy sequence in X is convergent. Let me give you one non-complete metric space, because over R you have seen that a sequence is convergent. A Cauchy sequence is always convergent over R. But let me give you an example of a metric space which is not complete. So consider, first of all, metric space R with respect to usual metric, that is distance between xy is equal to mod of x minus y. And we know that if X is a metric space, then its subset is also a metric space. So take A to be open interval 0, 1, then this is also a metric space with respect to same metric. Of course, the metric on A will be the induced metric by the metric, usual metric, but it is of course a metric space. Now, consider a sequence on it, xn to be 1 by n. Now you can check it that 1 by n, this is a Cauchy sequence. In R, and it converges to zero. Do you agree at this point? Everybody agree on it? Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
But
Yes, sir.
because the metric is same, the definition of metric is same, so 1 by n is also a Cauchy sequence in 0, 1, See, 1 by n is fully contained inside this interval. And because metric is same, so definition will remain same. So if you will start verification, everything will be same. So 1 by n is also a Cauchy sequence in 0, 1. But 0 is not in this interval. So although this is a Cauchy sequence, it converges to 0, but 0 is not in this is A. So this Cauchy sequence does not converge. So this is a Cauchy sequence in 0, 1, which does not converge in this space. So you may say that this space is not. So 0, 1 with respect to this metric is not a complete metric space. This is not a complete metric space. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, no problem. Now, so do you know the example of complete metric space? Example of complete metric space. Can you tell me?
Sir, Rn
R is complete.
Rn
Is
is
also
similarly Rn is complete.
with respect to usual metric.
Usual metric.
Yeah, Euclidean metric, you may say.
N2 is complete with respect to discrete metric.
Yes. See, what is d of xy? D of xy is under root x minus y dot x minus y. For n greater than 1 and for n is equal to 1, d of xy is simply mod of x minus y. Or you may say it here norm of x minus y also. Both are same thing. So with respect to this metric, these spaces are complete. Now the question is, do you know how can you prove that R is a complete metric space? So the problem is show that R is complete metric space. And on the same way, Rn is a complete metric space. Show that Rn is a complete metric space. Now, maybe this thing that R is a complete metric space you have done in your BSc syllabus. Have you done it? Anybody?
No, sir.
सर हम बढ़िया से नहीं पढ़े हैं.
नहीं पढ़े. ओके. किसी ने किया है इसको?
No, sir.
Okay. Nobody has done it, that R is a complete metric space in your BSc syllabus? If not, let us recall all these things. So I will give you a recall for it. And after that recall, you will be able to prove that R is a complete metric space. Okay. So let us go back to R. Now, you know that R, if you take two elements of R, then there is a order relation in R, means you can compare. So in other words, R is an ordered field. Okay. Ordered field is also in your syllabus, and we will come later on and discuss more about it. But just from your previous knowledge, you know that R is an ordered field. Means there is an ordering in the elements of R. You also know there is an upper bound. Okay, so now what we are going to do, we are going to prove that R is a complete metric space. R is a complete metric space. Okay, so let us start from the upper bound. What is upper bound? Let S be a subset of R, an element. Do you know this thing, upper bound? An element U in R is called upper bound of S if S is less than equal to U for all S in S. Do you remember it?
Yes, sir.
And there is
Yes, sir.
also a lower bound. On the same way, lower bound can be defined. Let S be a subset of R, an element L in R is called lower bound of S if L is less than equal to S for all S in S. Agree? This is called lower bound. Now, there is a concept of least upper bound. Least upper bound. LUB. Or this is also called supremum. Least upper bound or supremum. So again, let S be a subset of R, an element U in R is called least upper bound LUB of S or supremum of S if first thing U is an upper bound of S, and second thing, if U dash is any another upper bound, U dash is also an upper bound, then U must be least, means U is less than equal to U dash. That's why it is called least upper bound. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
And now there is a concept of greatest lower bound. Greatest lower bound. This is called GLB or infimum. What is this? So let S be a subset of R. Again, let S be a subset of R, an element L in R is called greatest lower bound GLB or infimum if first thing is that L is a lower bound of S, and second thing is that if L dash is another lower bound, L dash is also a lower bound, then which should be greater, L or L dash? L is greater than L dash. That's why it is called greatest lower bound. So it is greatest in all the lower bounds, and least upper bound means smallest in all the upper bounds. Okay, these are the two concepts which are very important on this set of real numbers. One small observation. Suppose S is a subset of, let S be a subset of R, and its least upper bound LUB of S is suppose U. Now take any epsilon greater than 0, then what will happen? U minus epsilon, consider this number, consider U minus epsilon. Can this U minus epsilon be a upper bound for S? See, S is a subset of R, least upper bound of S is U, and I choose an epsilon greater than 0, and I am asking whether U minus epsilon is an upper bound of S or not.
No, sir.
No, sir.
जरूरी नहीं है सर.
No, sir.
Because if it is a upper bound, then it must be greater than U, but it is less than U. Why? Because U is the least upper bound. So U minus epsilon is not an upper bound for S. So U minus epsilon is not an upper bound. So what will happen? So there exists some S in S such that U minus epsilon will be greater than S. So this is the property of least upper bound. So if you will go something smaller, if you will take any number, something smaller than least upper bound, then that number will never be least upper bound. So there will be some elements bigger than that number. Okay. So just remember this thing. Now, there is a property of R that is called supremum property of R or completeness property of R. Completeness property of R or supremum. Property of R. What is this? Every non-empty set of real number
കുറച്ചെടുക്കട്ടെ വെള്ളം എല്ലാവരും.
every non-empty set of real number please switch off your Mike. Okay. Okay, every non-empty set of real numbers that has an upper bound also has a least upper bound. Or supremum in R. So what does it mean? It means that take any subset S of R. If there is an upper bound for S, then there is a least upper bound for S also. Okay, that is called the completeness property of R or supremum property of R. Note that we are saying that it is a property of R. We are not going to prove it. We are assuming that it is true for R. Okay, so this is a type of axiom. This is not a theorem or this is not a result. This is type of axiom which we say that it is the property of R. It holds in R. But this statement is equivalent to saying that every non-empty set of real numbers that has a lower bound also has greatest lower bound in R. Both things are same. Assume one, you can prove the another. Why? Because suppose that this is true and I take a set S and L is lower bound for S. L is lower bound for S contained in R. Then what can we say is that we can consider another set S bar which is minus S such that S is in S. Just negative of all the elements. Then minus L is upper bound for S bar, and by the above statement that if a set has an upper bound, then it will have a least upper bound. So there will be a least upper bound. So let U be least upper bound for S bar. Then you can easily show that minus U is greatest lower bound for S. Think over it. What we have done, just I can try to make a figure for it, but although it is not possible. Suppose this is some set S and this is lower bound for it. Then what we have done is that this is 0. What we have done is that we have made minus of S means everything minus S bar and minus of L we have made. So this minus L is upper bound for this S bar. Then there will be a least upper bound somewhere. So I call it U. So when you will take minus U, then the minus U will be, so minus U will be somewhere here. This is S. So this minus U will become the least, minus U will become the greatest lower bound for S. So once you assume that least upper bound exists implies least upper bound exists, then it is same thing as saying that if lower bound exists, then greatest lower bound in R also exists. Okay, is it okay?
सर
Yes.
थोड़ा हिंदी में भी बोला करिए, ये पूरा मजा नहीं आ रहा है इंग्लिश में बोल रहे हैं तो।
ठीक, ठीक है। आपको कहाँ से मजा नहीं आया ये बताइए।
सर पूरा बोल रहे हैं तो समझ रहे हैं, केवल छाप रहे हैं ऐसे ही, फील भी तो आना चाहिए।
ओके, योर क्लास इज एक्चुअली डाइवर्स क्लास। आपकी क्लास में जो बच्चे हैं वो सब तरफ से हैं, मतलब साउथ के भी बच्चे हैं। तो अगर हम पूरा हिंदी में बोलेंगे तो हो सकता है किसी और को फील नहीं आएगा।
नहीं सर, मैं यूँ नहीं कह रहा, कि मैं ये कह रहा हूँ कि पढ़ाते रहिए इंग्लिश में, थोड़ा लास्ट में उसको समराइज कर दीजिए हिंदी में।
अच्छा ठीक, ओके। चलिए एक बार देख लीजिए। कंप्लीटनेस प्रॉपर्टी ऑफ आर क्या कह रही है? अगर हमारे पास कोई नॉन एम्प्टी सेट ऑफ रियल नंबर्स हैं जिसके पास अपर बाउंड है तो लीस्ट अपर बाउंड भी होगा। इसी तरह से अगर कोई नॉन एम्प्टी सेट ऑफ रियल नंबर्स है जिसके पास लोअर बाउंड है तो ग्रेटेस्ट लोअर बाउंड भी होगा। और ये दोनों बात इक्विवेलेंट है, किसी एक को मान के हम चलें तो दूसरी अपने आप हो जाएगी। तो हम लोग ऊपर वाले स्टेटमेंट को ही मान के चलेंगे दैट दिस स्टेटमेंट इज ट्रू। ठीक है, चलिए। इस प्रॉपर्टी को हम लोग कंप्लीटनेस प्रॉपर्टी क्यों कह रहे हैं? क्योंकि इसी की मदद से हम लोग शो करेंगे कि आर कंप्लीट होता है। आर के अंदर ये जो प्रॉपर्टी है सुप्रीमम प्रॉपर्टी, सुप्रीमम एग्जिस्ट करेगा। इस प्रॉपर्टी की मदद से ही हम लोग शो करेंगे कि आर कंप्लीट होता है। दैट्स व्हाई वी आर कॉलिंग इट एज कंप्लीटनेस प्रॉपर्टी ऑफ आर। Okay, one of the very basic consequence of this property is the Archimedean property or Archimedean principle of R. So let me state it here. Of R. Statement is, if X is in R, then there exists an X in N such that X is less than NX. See, ये जो पार्ट हम लोग कर रहे हैं, ये पार्ट आपको आरजी बर्टल की बुक में मिल जाएगा, आप वहां से देख सकते हैं, या आप एसके मापा की बुक देख सकते हैं। आई एम बेसिकली फॉलोइंग दिस बुक, इंट्रोडक्शन टू रियल एनालिसिस बाय बर्टल। So let me write it somewhere. Book is which I am going to follow for this part actually. This part mean up to the completeness of R is by R.G. Bertel. And DR. Introduction to Real Analysis. By Wiley. Okay, so you can see these things in this reference. तो आर्किमिडियन प्रॉपर्टी ऑफ आर क्या है? अगर हम कोई रियल नंबर ले रहे हैं तो एक nx यानी एक ऐसा इंटीजर मिलेगा जो उस रियल नंबर से बड़ा होगा। इसको हम लोग प्रूफ करेंगे विद द हेल्प ऑफ कंप्लीटनेस प्रॉपर्टी ऑफ आर. लेट अस प्रूव इट. So take x in R. If x is in R and suppose मान लीजिए कि ये नहीं हो रहा है, suppose this does not hold, means suppose there does not exist an x in N such that x is less than nx. nx क्या है? nx एक नेचुरल नंबर है, ठीक है, क्योंकि x पे डिपेंड कर रहा है इसलिए इसको nx लेती हैं. मान लीजिए कि ऐसा नहीं हो रहा है, यानी कोई ऐसा नेचुरल नंबर नहीं है, देयर डज नॉट एग्जिस्ट एनी नेचुरल नंबर which is greater than x. There does not exist any natural number which is greater than x. What does it mean? इसका मतलब क्या हुआ? कोई ऐसा नेचुरल नंबर नहीं है जो x से बड़ा हो. इसका मतलब ये है that is x is upper bound for the set of natural numbers. By the completeness property of R, by completeness property of R, n क्या हो गया? सेट ऑफ नेचुरल नंबर. सेट ऑफ नेचुरल नंबर्स को हम लोग कैपिटल एन से डिनोट करते हैं. ये जो सेट है, इस सेट का एक अपर बाउंड हमको मिल गया x. और अगर इस सेट का अपर बाउंड मिल गया तो कंप्लीटनेस प्रॉपर्टी ऑफ R से दिस सेट मस्ट हैव ए लीस्ट अपर बाउंड. सो बाय कंप्लीटनेस प्रॉपर्टी ऑफ R, assume U is least upper bound. For R, least upper bound for N. Okay. Now see, if U is least upper bound, then U minus 1 is not least upper bound. For N. ये समझ में आ रहा है? इज इट क्लियर?
यस सर.
Yes, sir.
अगर u माइनस 1 लीस्ट अपर बाउंड नहीं है तो कोई ना कोई नेचुरल नंबर इससे ऊपर होगा. सो देयर एग्जिस्ट n in n such that u minus 1 is less than n. If this is the situation, then you may add 1 on both sides. So you may write u is less than n plus 1. यानी ये जो लीस्ट अपर बाउंड था u, वो किसी नेचुरल नंबर से छोटा हो गया. So what is this? This is a contradiction. This is a contradiction. This is a contradiction. क्यों? क्योंकि हम लोग u को मान के चल रहे हैं क्या? u is least upper bound. So it is not possible. और ये contradiction क्यों आया? This contradiction arises due to our wrong assumption that there does not exist an x in n such that x is less than nx. Means हमने क्या मान लिया? गलत चीज मान ली. और वो गलत चीज क्या थी? x is an upper bound for the set of natural number. x is the upper bound. Yes.
सर u-1 और u के बीच में सर एक नेचुरल नंबर सर कैसे दिखेगा? जैसे यहाँ लिखे ना सर,
हाँ
तो देयर एग्जिस्ट एनी नेचुरल नंबर, और u तो लिस्ट अपर बाउंड है,
हाँ हाँ
और u-1 उसका अपर बाउंड लिस्ट नहीं है, तो बीच
हाँ
में एक एनी नेचुरल नंबर मिलेगा।
हाँ। देखो हम लोग अभी
तो
देखें यहाँ पे कि अगर हमारे पास हम लोग यहाँ पे देखें कि अगर हमारे पास ऑब्जर्व किया ना हम लोग ने कि अगर एस सबसेट है आर का और हमारे पास इसका लीस्ट अपर बाउंड यू है, तो यू से छोटा अगर हम नंबर लेंगे तो वो तो अपर बाउंड नहीं रह जाएगा, और अगर ये
Yes, sir.
अपर बाउंड नहीं रह गया तो सेट का एक ना एक एलिमेंट उससे ऊपर जाएगा। तो वही काम हमने यहाँ पे किया कि हमको एक लीस्ट अपर बाउंड मिल गया, और लीस्ट अपर बाउंड से कम जब करेंगे तो वो अपर बाउंड तो रहेगा नहीं, और अपर बाउंड नहीं है इसका मतलब कोई ना कोई नेचुरल नंबर उससे ऊपर होगा। अगर सारा नेचुरल नंबर इससे कम होता तो यही लीस्ट अपर बाउंड होता।
Okay, sir.
So if u minus 1 is less than n, then it simply means that u is less than n plus 1. लेकिन अगर u n plus 1 से कम हो गया तो u अपर बाउंड नहीं रह जाएगा। तो ये कंट्रडिक्शन है, और ये कंट्रडिक्शन आया इसलिए क्योंकि हमने मान लिया कि कोई nx ऐसा नहीं है नेचुरल नंबर such that x is less than nx, तो यानी u अपर बाउंड नहीं है, hence there exists nx in n such that u is less than nx, such that x is less than nx. One second. ठीक है ये? Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
ठीक, चलिए इसको एक छोटा सा कोरोलरी इसकी हम लिखते हैं। कोरोलरी का मतलब होता है some small results proved with the help of preposition or theorem. So a small corollary is this: take AB in R such that B is greater than 0. So I take two real number A and B, and one is greater than 0. Then there exists a natural number n such that A is less than NB. ठीक है, तो इसको हम लोग ऊपर वाले रिजल्ट की मदद से दिखा सकते हैं, और बहुत सारी किताबों में आप देखिएगा कि ये जो कोरोलरी है इसी को आर्किमिडियन प्रॉपर्टी की तरह स्टेट किया गया। ठीक है, और डायरेक्ट भी इसको प्रूव कर सकते हैं। यस, सो सिंस AB belongs to R, so A by B, and we have taken B to be greater than 0, so A by B is also a real number. By Archimedean property, there exists n in n such that A by B is less than n, and this implies A is less than NB. ठीक है, तो ऊपर वाली प्रॉपर्टी की मदद से ये आ गया कि A is less than NB. एक्चुअली अगर आप आर्किमिडियन प्रॉपर्टी को देखिएगा तो इसके प्रूफ में हम लोग ने क्या प्रूफ किया है कि जो नेचुरल नंबर का सेट है उसका कोई अपर बाउंड नहीं है। इसके प्रूफ में हम लोग ने यही प्रूफ किया है कि नेचुरल नंबर के सेट का कोई अपर बाउंड नहीं है। तो आप कह सकते हैं कि आर्किमिडियन प्रॉपर्टी क्या है, दैट सेट ऑफ नेचुरल नंबर इज अनबाउंडेड। Simply speaking, Archimedean property is set of natural number is unbounded. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
कहीं पे कोई कंफ्यूजन आपको आप पूछ सकते हैं. आपका क्लास है अभी और
नहीं
No,
सर.
sir.
तो थोड़ा सा समय हम आपको और ले लें.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Sir, can I give another proof for this given theorem that R is complete metric space?
Yes, tell me.
Sir, we can go with a simple technique that we can take a Cauchy sequence in R as R is closed and open as well, implies its all limit point is in it. So we can assume that P is a limit point of Xn as Xn is Cauchy and R covered all its limit point, then it must have a P such that X converges in P, implies X1 is convergent, implies R is Cauchy. Can we prove it in this manner?
Yes, but what are the things that you have used for it?
Sir, I have used the previous result that R is closed and open. Closed. It's R is closed. Main thing we have to use in it. So implies its all limit point is in it. And if Xn is Cauchy sequence, we can take that Xn is Cauchy bit not convergent in R, but R cover all its limits points. So we can't say that there is no and there does not exist P such that Xn can't converge to P. So it's arise a contradiction, implies X converges to P, and in the same manner, X converges to P implies Xn is convergent in P, implies R is Cauchy, because if a Cauchy sequence is convergent, implies that space is complete.
So are you using that Cauchy sequence will converge?
Sir, but if we want to prove that any metric space is complete, then we have to take a Cauchy sequence. Then.
Yes.
And if
So
Cauchy,
are you assuming that the Cauchy sequence is convergent?
no, sir. I am proving that Cauchy sequence is convergent in it by using property that R covered all its limit point.
So if the Cauchy sequence will converge, then that limit point exists, no?
Sir,
And
but,
because you are assuming that R is closed, then that limit point will be inside R.
Yeah, means in same fashion I'm going.
But for this, you have to assume that the Cauchy sequence has a limit point.
Sir, but R2 have property na, by going apart that it have or not. R have property that it have all its limit point, and it's a separate session, na, and we can use this session to prove that R is complete.
Now see, if you are talking about a metric space, then the set of limit points of the metric space is that set itself.
Yes,
Take
sir.
any metric space, then the set of limit point, if you will talk, then that will be the same metric space. So on the same fashion, it is true for all the metric space कि अगर आप limit point का set लीजिएगा तो वही आएगा. हर metric space closed होता है.
Sir, हर metric space close कैसे हो सकता है sir? We okay, fine sir.
No. जैसे हमने 0-1 मैट्रिक स्पेस लिया, अगर हम आपसे बोलें कि 0-1 पूरा मैट्रिक स्पेस है और उसके सेट ऑफ लिमिट पॉइंट्स निकालिए, तो कौन आएगा?
0 to 1 closed.
No, same open interval 0-1 will come.
Okay, as a subspace.
As a metric space, yes.
As
So
yeah,
उसी तरह से-
yes sir. If I taking 0 to 1 as a metric space,
yes,
then it's closed and open. It's as well.
yes. The same way R is closed and open. So R contains all its limit point. But the
Yeah,
problem is that if you will take a Cauchy sequence, and if you are assuming that Cauchy sequence has a limit point, means it is converging.
Yeah.
Then because R contains all its limit points, so that point will be in R. That's what you want to say, I think.
Yes, sir. That's true. I want to say, but by arising on a contradiction. But yes, sir. I am getting what you want to say.
So what I am going to show is that if you take any Cauchy sequence, because of this completeness property, this Cauchy sequence will converge.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And it will take some lectures to complete this proof. But it will be a good recall of what you have done.
Actually, sir, this proof is quite long. It's not
Yeah.
quite long. Actually, it's more long.
Yes. So we will continue it in the next turn.
Yes, and sorry for disturbing, sir.
No, no, it's okay.